Going live. We are going live. Come on, go live, you damn thing. Right. Good evening, all. Welcome to Nick's Wednesday night quiz night. Hope everybody is well. We currently have just a number of teams just logging in as we speak. We've currently got 15 teams now logged on and raring to do tonight's quiz. Yes, I was just quickly putting a bit of chat there with Ian Miller about our experience. He was just saying he's had an excellent meal, courtesy of Boris tonight, on the government help pub scheme. But we went out last night to the boat at Stockton, very nice, had a decent meal. The only downer was the fact that there was a few screaming kids in the background, and it was getting a bit late for them to be running around, to be quite honest, but never mind. They soon cleared off as soon as I got there, so it must be something to do with me, but never mind. Right, Martin and Tina. Martin Davis has just signed in. Martin and Tina, good evening to you both, and I hope all is well with you, and I hope you've managed to do something exciting today, Martin. You haven't been out fishing in this rain, I trust. I don't know. It has been dreadful weather, and it looks set fair for tomorrow, though. They said Thursday. This was on the evening news tonight. Shafali, if you ever watch the Midland news, she said that it's going to be the best day of the week tomorrow, so it's probably the best day to make something of it, with reasonable temperatures tomorrow afternoon. But it looks like there's a bit of a storm heading our way on Friday with some very high winds, so probably avoid going out on Friday, although the wife and I we've decided to go cycling in the Peak District on Friday evening. Friday afternoon. So that should be good fun. Right, we have just had Jed and Tracy. They've just signed in. So good evening, Jed, Tracy. Hope all is well with you and the gang, and raring to do battle tonight. You should be getting used to my quizzes now, I think, by now. Tonight, as usual, we have 6 rounds of just general tricky trivia to keep you going. Mike Yates has just joined us. Good evening, Mike. Hope all is well with you. How did you fare last night? Be interested to know. We were out doing the, supporting the pubs in the Boris. Eat as much as you like for half price business, you know. Oh dear. Wait a minute. What else has put? Ian's put. I've been in the boat. Just had a quick look at it. Oh right. Yeah. Well, the boat at Stockton was bought 2 years ago by Gary Burleson, who owns the Merchants Inn in Rugby. So he's done it very similar to that, or he's let them do it. Gary owns some of the pubs. He leases some of his pubs, so it's a bit tight. Not quite sure what the situation is at the boat at Stockton, but it does look very much like one of the Burleson Inns, if that makes any sense. If you've ever been to the Merchants in Rugby, it's a similar layout there, and they're doing some very good food. There was no doubt the food was pretty good last night, but they were trying to tempt us with starters and with finishes. We've never been able to do that, but never mind. Right, we've had. Let's have a look. Robin Miller, what's he said? Little ray of sunshine, aren't you? I am, yes. I was just going on about the fine weather we're going to have, Robin. So good evening to you. Have you got your team ready? As PRS signed in officially or not? Now, last week was such a close affair. John O'Rourke was nearly pulling his hair out because the famous 5 went into the last round, I think, in a commanding position. And somehow it just reversed in the last round, with PRS winning last Wednesday's quiz on 62 points, and the famous 5 ending up on a fantastic 61 points in second place. So PRS and the famous 5 were in the top 2 slots last week. This was last Wednesday. And I think the famous 5 were feeling a bit peeved they hadn't won. But never mind, let's see whether they can do even better. Ian's just saying, Andrew Lewis and Jane have just signed in from sunny Yelvertoft. So good evening, Andrew. Hope all is well with you and Jane. Keeping well and keeping your spirits up. I don't suppose you've been out doing much walking today, unless you've been like us when we had one of our grandchildren and dragged around Daventry Park in the pouring rain. As you can imagine, she loved that, but then she's only 3, so so it wasn't such a problem. Right, Ian's just asked us, have you ever done the Monkswell Trail in Derbyshire? Yes, we did it last year before. We've done it a few times. We are taking the electric bike up there with us and hope to do part of it again. So we will see. Good evening, Vanessa. Vanessa Hughes has just joined us from sunny Burton-on-Trent. Hope all is well with you and the family, and let's see how you fare tonight. So Mike Yates said third equal. That was presumably last. Yes, that was last time, wasn't it, Mike, when you were doing the online quiz? Graham Gifford and Jane have just signed in. So good evening, Graham and Jane. Good evening from sunny Rugby to sunny Cambridge. Hope all is well with you. Now, Graham Gifford, I was just writing down before I started. Last week we had PRS and the Famous Five in first and second spot. Then we had three teams, split the difference. Harry, Julian, and Ian, and the Quizzy Rascals were all on 59 points in third equal place. Behind them on 58 were the Giffords from Cambridge. So well played them. Not bad out of a total of 60 odd. I think there were 58 teams last week taking part, and the Giffords scored 58 points, which effectively put them in sixth place, which I thought was a cracking result considering, but there's only two of them. So Michelle's just joined us. Good evening, Michelle. Now, where are you? Hailing from Allerton Bywater with my son and daughter-in-law, Chris and Jess, joining us tonight. Oh, great. Well, Michelle, fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed York, because you've been up in York. So I don't know where's Allerton Bywater. Presumably that's somewhere up that way. It's not going to be down south, is it? Faye's just joined us. Good evening, Faye. Hi, Nick and Liddy. Hope you're all well. Booby won here. That's like what we're like. Well, if you can't have two boobies, let's have one. That's what I always say. Pick a Mix have just joined us. Good evening, Pick a Mix. Hope all is well with you. We've got a full family team with Pick a Mix tonight. They've been doing pretty well recently. And let's see how they fare. Steve Farnan has just joined us. So evening from Hill, Steve and Dexter, the team captain, no doubt. Or is he in bed yet? I don't know. I think Dexter was the team captain, wasn't he? All right, wait a minute. Jackie's just joined us. Jackie says, hi, Nick. I'm up in rainy Mumsley with a friend, but we'll hope join Faye in a bit when we get back to the hotel. Oh, fantastic. Oh, well, that's all right. Yes. All right, here we go. Michelle's just said between Leeds and Castleford. Well, it does appear that quite a lot of us are at least getting out and joining in with a little bit of getting away for a day or two, if nothing more. And I think that's the way forward, isn't it? Just a couple of days at a time. Go and try not to get to too many places that are overly packed. And there's plenty of nice places in the UK when you can get the weather right. It does worry me a little bit as we get towards autumn and the winter that the nights are going to start drawing in a bit too much, and it's going to make it a bit awkward. Right, Matthew has just joined us. So we have PRS signing in from Cumbria and Rugby. So good evening, Matthew and Claire. And let's see how you fare. As I mentioned earlier, you were the winning team last week. PRS, they ended up on 62 points out of a possible 63. So they only dropped 1 point. Now, everybody must be saying that we've got the quizzes far too easy. Is that a stop question, Matthew? We've got to repeat one. He says, how's the power generation today? Not very good. I think we generated a dismal 10 kilowatts or something like that today, Matthew. But never mind. That's still probably about £1.50 or something like that. So better than nothing on a dismal day like today. Gareth Williams has just joined us. Gaz and Bean have logged in. So good evening to you. We are now up to 44 teams logged on presently, and we'll see whether that number rises anymore. We had, as I say, there were about 55 last Wednesday, so we're still getting a good turnout of people. It appears they still want to do something stupid to keep their spirits up on this rather damp evening. There's not a lot to do tonight unless it's the rain has passed you. I think it's left the Midlands now and it's heading up your way towards Cumbria, Matthew and the gang. So I'm sure that's going to be pretty dismal wet for the rest of the evening, no doubt. Now then, tonight's rounds, as always, we start off with Wednesday, the 19th. We use the initial letters of the word Wednesday. The initial numbers 1 and 9, and then the other two letters with the T and the H. So there are possible 13 points in round 1. Round 1 is entitled Wednesday the 19th. Now, what's Carol put? Hope there are plenty of dumbed-down questions tonight for us non-professional quizzes. Well, Carol, you've been doing remarkably well. I was going to say, where were you down last week? 56 points, you see. 56 out of a possible 65. You only drop 9 points all night long. And it's just getting that extra 1 or 2 that makes all the difference. And there's bound to be one in that you know tonight. At least, Carol, I'm sure. There's a couple there for you. So, yeah, I could make it even easier, but that means the team that wins it, you're going to get all 63. We can't do that, surely. Right then, round number 2 tonight is an initial letter link. They're always a bit tricky. Take the initial letter of each of your answers, and question number 10 asks you for a connection between them all. To link and rearrange them to spell out a word that I will ask a question about. Round number 3 is a trivia trail. We all know how that works. Last letter of one is the first letter of your next. Round number 4, rhyming pairs. We've done this before. 5 answers rhyme with the other 5 answers. You take the last syllable of each of the words or answers that I give you, and it will rhyme with the last syllable of another answer that I give you. So there are 5 rhyming pairs. Pretty easy once you've figured out how it works. Round number 5, which was missing up until half an hour ago, when I suddenly discovered that I was a round short, is entitled Birds. I thought I'd do a bird round for all you ornithologists, oologists, or whatever other ologist you want to be. And finally, round number 6 tonight is a general trivia round with some silly questions and some questions that we should all know about somehow or another. But never mind. Right, let's have a look now. We've had a few more teams join us. We've now had Ian Miller's just telling me he took a drive in a Lexus Hybrid. You know what, they liked it so much. What they liked it so much. Sorry, Ian, we haven't got the full script there. I can't tell what you said there. I'm sure the Lexus Hybrid is a lovely car to drive. Did you see the bit on the Midlands News? Oh, it's on the BBC News tonight about driverless cars, so you can go along without your hands on the wheel. It's on its way, you needn't worry. As I told everybody last week, I managed 50 miles without touching a pedal on my car the other week. 50 miles. And to be fair, if they'd taken over the steering as well, I could have just gone to sleep while the car was doing its own thing. Right, Ian's just joined us. Brian, Captain, Harry, Julian, Ian here. And Brian, we've got Captain Brian in tonight, have we? Does that mean there's 4 of you tonight? That could be worrying. It sounds like a very good team. Harry, Julian, Ian, they were 3rd equal last week, so there's another top team that's just joined us. Mick and Bev Roberts has just joined us. Good evening, Mick and Bev. Hope all is well from sunny Bilton Way. Sarah's just joined us. Good evening, Sarah. Hope it's not been too wet down in Worcestershire today. I'm sure it probably has, but never mind, it's been pretty miserable here. Ian's just saying, bird round, is it full of tits or full of tits? Yes, it might be. The Quizzy Rascals have just joined us. Quizzy Rascals, again, they were 3rd equal last week. So good evening to Paula and the Quizzy Rascals. Hope all is well with you. And are we all ready to do battle? Right, we have a couple of minutes to go before we start the quiz tonight. Let me just quickly go through those rounds again for all those that have just joined us. We have Wednesday the 19th, that's round number 1. Round number 2 is an initial letter link. Round number 3 is a trivia trail. Round number 4 is a rhyming round. So 5 answers rhyme with the other 5 answers. Well, the last syllable does anyway. Round number 5 is a birds round, something to do with birds, either in the question or in the answer. Pretty straightforward. And final round number 6 is a general trivia round. A general trivia round full of useless bits of general trivia that you either know or might like to learn. So here we have it. Now, wait a minute. What's Harry just put? Harry, Julian, Ian, and Brian, our new captain, and he is 72. By the way, Brian and I got soaked playing. Oh, it's not on my screen. I don't know what you've got soaked playing. Presumably golf, something silly like that. Right, the Tweeners have just joined us. Good evening, Tweeners. Hope all is well with you. And let's, right, we now have, let's have a look, just a minute left before we get going. So let me just run down the placings last week. In first place last week, PRS on a fantastic 62 points out of 63. Just pipping the famous 5, who were on 61 points last week. Then we had a tie for 3rd place between the Quizzy Rascals, Harry, Julian, and Ian, and split the difference, all on 59 points. And then we had the Giffords, Graham and Jane Gifford, on 58 points from sunny Cambridge. So tonight I'm expecting similar kind of scores. So if you can get yourself into the 50s before we go into the last round, you've got a very good chance of winning. So Alex Brown's just joined us, Sue Brown and Son here. Excellent. So full team tonight then, Alex. You're not doing it all on your own tonight. And what it was is that they were playing water polo. Well, it could have been water polo this afternoon, I have to say, but never mind. Right then, let me bring the quiz up on my screen and let's get going. Before we go any further, round number one, entitled Wednesday the 19th. The first question has got to start with the letter W. The letter W, and it's not the easiest one to get you going. So let's just test you, see how we're doing. Question number one, starting with the letter W. Remember, it's a two-word answer. Well, not necessarily a two-word answer, but let's say it's a two-word answer. What is a historical novel by English author and Booker Prize winner Hilary Mantel? It's a fictionalized biography documenting the rapid rise in power of Thomas Cromwell in the court of Henry VIII. It's been on television, it's been a book, it's been dramatized on television, and it's not that old. So what is a historical novel by English author and Booker Prize winner Hilary Mantel? It's a fictionalized biography documenting the rapid rise to power of Thomas Cromwell in the court of Henry VIII. Oh dear, never mind, that should be fun. That was probably the toughest one of the round. So question number two, this goes back a bit, but never mind. Good scientific question this. Prior to the 20th century, what substance was assumed to be weightless, transparent, frictionless, undetectable, and literally permeating all matter and space? Just a one-word answer I'm after, starting with the letter E. So prior to the 20th century, what substance was assumed to be weightless, transparent, frictionless, undetectable, and literally permeating all matter and space? That's going to start with the letter E, of course, as in Wednesday. Just pouring some, this is Old Peculiar. Apparently it's unpasteurised, whatever that means. Right, Carol, it's one for you. Now you're becoming a professional quizzer. Question number three, presented annually, starts with the D, remember. Who is the only male actor to have won 3 Academy Awards in the Best Actor category? It's a 3-word answer I'm after. So presented annually, who is the only male actor to have won 3 Academy Awards in the Best Actor category? That, remember, starts with the letter D. Question number 4 is a bit easier. What name is given to a row of 3 stacks of chalk that rise about 30 metres out of the sea off the western extremity of the Isle of Wight in the English Channel? So what name is given to a row of 3 stacks of chalk that rise about 30 metres out of the sea off the western extremity of the Isle of Wight in the English Channel? Just a one-word answer I'm after, starting with the letter N. Question number 5. All of those that know your Greek alphabet back to front, derived from the Phoenician letter He. What is the name given to the 5th letter of the Greek alphabet? It's got to start with the letter E again. So derived from the Phoenician letter He, what is the name given to the fifth letter of the Greek alphabet? What's that? Oh, I've got Alexa joining in. Alexa, will you shut yourself off, please? Alexa, turn yourself off. I've got Alexa in the background telling us all the answers now. That's all we needed. And I hope you lot haven't got Alexa on in the background. No, you won't have to ask him. You just leave it switched off. Dear God. Question number 6. Just checking Alexa's still off. What was the former official name of HM Prison Manchester, which was derived from the area in which it is located? Matthew, tell everybody switch Alexa off. The lot of you. No Alexas. Thank you very much. Don't need that business. Question number 6. What was the former official name of HM Prison Manchester, which was derived from the area in which it is located? How many of you have been watching halfway through a program? Because we have Alexa near our telly kind of thing, and we rarely use it other than switching the radio on and tell it to play some music. But occasionally it pipes up halfway through some television broadcast with some random information thing. It's been listening to the television. Think, what the hell's going on here? Never mind, too clever. Question number 7. Listen, it's got to start with the letter D. In usage in the United States, what name stamped on the coin is given to the 10-cent piece, 1/10 of a US dollar? So question 7 again. In usage in the United States, what name stamped on the coin is given to the 10-cent piece, 1/10 of a US dollar? It's quite interesting why it's called that, but I'll let you all read that if you want to. Question number 8 is a two-word answer. In May 1961, who made the first crewed Project Mercury flight and became the first American to travel into space? Not that he went up there for very long, but he was up there all the time. So in May 1961, who made the first crewed Project Mercury flight and became the first American to travel into space? It's a two-word answer that I need. And his first name starts with an A, which can't be too hard. You might be able to work that one out if you know any, not Australian, American astronauts, Australian astronauts. Sorry. Question number 9. Which cast member of the Magnificent Seven had a scene from the film enacted at his wedding during filming? That again is a two-word answer starting with the letter Y, which makes it a bit easy. So which cast member of the Magnificent Seven had a scene from the film enacted at his wedding during filming? Interesting fact. Completely useless fact, but it was an interesting fact all the same. Question number 10. This will give the Giffords a good chance. So I hope you're listening, Graham and Jane. What is an A road? I need the number. What is an A road that runs from London Bridge in the London Borough of Southwark to the Norfolk port town of King's Lynn? It's just a number I'm after, and it's got to start with the number 1, of course. And it's 2 digits. So you've got a good chance of getting this one right. So what is an A road that runs from London Bridge in the London Borough of Southwark to the Norfolk port town of King's Lynn? Don't need to put the A down, I just need the number, starting with the number 1, of course. Question number 11 starts with the number 9. This is for all you scientists. What number connects the element uranium, the code for international direct dial phone calls to Pakistan, and the number of days in the meteorological summer season? In other words, the number of days in the summer season. Well, apparently it's not the same number of days in the astronomical summer season. It differs by a day. So question number 11 again. What number connects the element uranium, the code for international direct dial phone calls to Pakistan? I'm sure we all know that one. And the number of days in the meteorological summer season. I suppose you've only got to take the number of days in a year and divvy it up by 4 and you're fairly close. I'll check that one. Some of them might be shorter than any of the others. Oh, yes, it's pretty close. Right then, question number 12 starts with the letter T, after the name of a country, which isn't too tricky. At a height of 5,895 meters, in which African country would you find Africa's highest mountain? So at a height of 5,895 meters, in which African country would you find Africa's highest mountain? Can't be that hard. There can't be many countries in Africa starting with that letter T. And finally, question number 13. Remember, this starts with the letter H. Which Carthaginian general led his army across the Alps with a contingent of elephants? Just a one-word answer I'm after. So which Carthaginian general led his army across the Alps with a contingent of elephants? It's a decent one to finish you off on there. Right then, have we all got 13 answers down? Does anybody need any more time to try and work that out? Or had you all got Alexa in the background giving you some random facts? What's he not got internet? Oh dear. What's happened to his internet? Does it appear we've all got a decent connection tonight? I don't really know. One member claims that his internet's down, but we'll see. We'll still get everybody logged on though, so I think we're a bit better than we were a couple of weeks ago. Right then, let's go through the answers to the first round because it was pretty straightforward. The kind of thing I suppose you could work out quickly. You didn't know half an hour to work them all out. So question number 1, that book I was after by Booker Prize winner Hilary Mantel was entitled Wolf Hall. Wolf Hall. Now, the original Wolf Hall was one word and spelt slightly differently, but never mind. So Wolf Hall was what I was after. Number 2 was the ether. If something goes into the ether. Prior to the 20th century, it was supposed to surround all matter. Question number 3, I was after Daniel Day-Lewis, the only actor to have won 3 Academy Awards in the Best Actor category. Number 4 were better known as the Needles. Number 5, the 5th letter of the Greek alphabet, of course, is Epsilon. Number 6 was Strangeways Prison, or just Strangeways will do. Number 7 is a dime, of course, 1/10 of a dollar. Number 8 was Alan Shepard, the first American in space. Number 9, the member of the Magnificent Seven, of course, was Yul Brynner. Number 10, it's the A10 that runs from London via Cambridge, of course, to Norfolk. Number 11, apparently there are 92 days in the meteorological summer season, and it's also, of course, the a number that connects the element uranium and the international dialing code for Pakistan. Number 12 was Tanzania. And final number 13, it was Hannibal that took his elephants across the Alps. Hannibal, so I don't know if you got that. Right, let's have some scores in after round one. I'm expecting a few 13s there. And we'll see how we have fared. Well, we have the famous five, very swiftly off the mark. Fantastic 12. We have Home Alone on 12. We have Steve Fundon on 11.5. Sarah and the Gang from Worcester on 11. Ian Miller's on 9. Jed and Tracy are on 11. Mike Yates is on 11. Michelle's on 12. Vanessa's on 8. Graham Gifford, the Gifford's doing well tonight, on 13. Mick Roberts is on 12. We have Martin Davis on 10. PRS are on 12. Andrew Lewis is on 12. Well done, Andrew. And Jane. Gaz and Bean on 10. Roy, Joe, what's that? 0.5. What does that mean? Does that mean half a point? I don't know. Pick a Mixer on 11. Faye McSorley. Faye's doing very well. 10 for Faye. What do you mean, Roy? Is that half a point you mean, or 0.5? I don't quite mean. I don't know quite what you mean with that one, but never mind. Yes, I'm not quite sure half a point. Never mind. So we've got some good scores coming in so far. That's what you meant. Alex Brown on a 9. We've got the Tweenies on 12 points. That's a great score. So have we got any full scores as yet? I don't think so. Oh, yes, we have the Quizzy Rascals straight in with 13 points. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. Brian, Harry, Julie, and Ian, the new team captain, obviously taking charge of the team tonight with a fantastic 11. Tweenies are on 12. Yes, we've had that twice now. That could mean 24, of course, but it doesn't. So we have Roger Griffiths on 11. We're still waiting for Split the Differences score. I don't know where their score is, but we will see. But yes, great scores to get us going. So there's one team at the moment with full marks. Everybody else is just a point behind or a couple of points behind. So anybody there or that, and Roger Griffiths is on a fantastic 11 points. Where's your team score on? I haven't got it down. Nobody's put it on. Not that it matters, but somebody's got to put it on. Right then, round number 2 tonight is entitled an initial letter link. This is where I ask you 9 general knowledge questions. And question number 10, the first letters of the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the title of something, and I'll tell you that in a minute. Graham Gifford, we got 13 too. Well played, Graham. Sorry, yes, I thought you got 12. But I think, you got 12? Oh, I don't know. Yes, you had. So we've got 2 teams on 13 points at the moment. Right, let's start off. We need full attention for the initial letter round, because initial letter links, if you're missing a letter, you can normally work it out and then try and work it out backwards. So I will give you a couple of minutes after the end of this round to try and work things backwards if you haven't already got them. So question 1, here we go. What type of classical male singing voice has a vocal range that falls between bass and tenor? So what type of classical male singing voice has a vocal range that falls between bass and tenor? Just a one-word answer I'm after. Yeah, some very good scores. I'm very impressed with that first round, actually. Everybody scored very well. Question number 2. This is a bit tricky. What was the name of the company that Reggie Perrin worked for in the TV series The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin? 2-word answer. So what was the name of the company that Reginald Perrin worked for in the TV series The Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin? I know it goes back a bit, but it was a classic series. Classic series. So what's everybody been up to today in this pouring rain? As I said, we've been to Daventry Park, Country Park, dragging my granddaughter around in pouring rain. She loved it, splashing in the puddles, looking at slugs. We had slimy slugs. What else did we see? Andrew saw a few things, didn't we? Lots of water, that's for sure. Right, question number 3. Caused by emissions of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide that react with water in the atmosphere, what 2-word phrase is used to refer to precipitation even that possesses increased levels of hydrogen ions? Bother, I should have done that a bit better, shouldn't I? Roger Griffiths on 11. Right. Well done, Roger. Right. Caused by emissions of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide that react with water in the atmosphere, what 2-word phrase is used to refer to precipitation that possesses increased levels of hydrogen ions? It's a 2-word answer, pretty straightforward. I'm sure you've all heard of it. It has become less apparent, apparently, in Europe, especially over the last decade. Probably because we're burning a lot less coal, to be fair, but there we have it. Question number 4 is a 2-word answer. Very popular guy, this guy. Listen carefully. Which English comedian, actor and writer, known in particular for his television work, played Dermot in the first series of Men Behaving Badly, but left before the 2nd series and was replaced by Neil Morris's Tony? So question number 4 again for you TV addicts. Which English comedian, actor and writer, and he's very famous, known in particular for his television work, played Dermot in the first series of Men Behaving Badly, but left before the 2nd series and was replaced by Neil Morris's Tony? Now, if you don't know any of these, don't worry too much, because there's a bit of a help and you can work out the last one of the round, and you might be able to work them backwards. So question number 5, this is one you should get. What was the surname of the Russian who developed the AK-47 assault rifle? 1-word answer. So what was the surname of the Russian who developed the AK-47 assault rifle? And it wasn't Thompson, just in case you're thinking of putting that down. Sure you weren't. Question number 6, pretty straightforward. How many gears do motorcycles have in the sport of Speedway? Now, how many gears do motorcycles have in the sport of Speedway? Not quite sure as that's worded as well as it could be, but it sounds about right. Bellevue Aces. My mate was a big Brandon Bees fan, wasn't he, Graham? Used to go and watch the Speedway all over the place. Right then, question number 7. Listen carefully. Due to a pigment known as biliverdin being deposited on the shell, what is the predominant colour of a robin's egg? That's the bird, a robin, obviously. So due to a pigment known as biliverdin being deposited on the shell, what is the predominant colour of a robin's egg? And apparently, the deeper the colour, the healthier the bird is. Apparently. Question number 8. This is one my relation Carol will get straight away. Her dad will get it anyway if nobody else does. What is the only one-word anagram of the word cart horse? So what is the only one-word anagram of the word cart horse? Lydia spelt it. I'm sure you can work that one out. It's a bit tricky, but how's my Lydia anyway? All right. Shattered? Why? You've been working too hard on your computer all day. It was that food we had last night, wasn't it? So has anybody else been out for this marvellous Boris's meals over the last week? I know Ian has. He seems to have been eating as much as he can over the last week. We have as well now, so we started eating them. So has anybody been? It's a shame they aren't over a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, really, isn't it? But never mind. Because I can see what's going to happen with the pub trade. Everybody's got used to going out on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then as soon as this offer finishes, they'll stop going out on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But let's... Right, question number 9. This is interesting, but pretty straightforward if you listen to the question carefully. In tennis, which Commonwealth country reached the final of the Davis Cup every year from 1946 to 1968? Come on, there's a clue in there. So, in tennis, which Commonwealth country reached the final of the Davis Cup every year from 1946 to 1968? I don't think it was Uganda, was it? So that's any help. I suppose it is. And of course, I'll give you question number 10 because this may help a lot. The first letters of the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the title of which Kate Bush hit single. A title that can also be used to refer to a woman's headscarf that is tied below the chin and was originally worn by Russian peasant women. And I'm sure most good quizzers will know that one. So the first letters of the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the title of which Kate Bush hit single. A title that can also be used to refer to a woman's headscarf that is tied below the chin and was originally worn by Russian peasant women. Right, I will give you a couple of minutes to work that one out. Because that's not the easiest thing in the world. How many have you got, Ange? So as I mentioned earlier, anybody up to anything silly today, or do we all stay at home or whatever else? He's saying, ouch, got a cramp in my leg. Sounds like my wife, Ian. Oh, blimey. You better get up and jump around the room a bit then, clearly. Go out and feed the hedgehogs quickly. It's probably a warning sign or something. God knows. Roy says, I played golf. That was silly. I bet you got your full wets on, hadn't you, Roy? Where did you play? Interesting. Where were you? Rugby or did you play? Depends what time you started, of course. It was actually okay first thing this morning. But by the time we got to, when did we going to pick little one up? 11. Yeah, by the time we got about 10:30, 11 o'clock, the rain had started and it didn't want to stop, did it? But never mind. Even more stupid, Roy, on, when did we go out? Tuesday night, we decided to go out on our bike for a little evening jaunt out to Welton, not far from Rugby. And there were some black, ominous clouds, and you can tell they were ominous because they were black. And on the way out to Welton, Ange was reminding me, we don't really want to get wet. Thankfully, we'd taken our full wet gear with us, just in case. And we got within half a mile of Welton when the heavens opened, so we sheltered under a tree. And then the wife said, "Stupid sheltering under this tree, let's just get to the pub." So we ended up sheltering in the pub for 3 hours until the rain stopped. Then I realised I hadn't got any front lights to come back with, but never mind. So Roy's pot, I played golf, that was silly. But the rain, what's that? But after the rain, it was fine. Oh, excellent. Oh, rugby. So you played rugby? Oh, no. Rugby can be a decent course. To Paul Ridgeway territory, we did, yeah. It's kind of a nice little trip out for us on the bike from Hillmorton to Welton. It's a pretty straight road through Barby, up the hill, and straight to Welton. And on a nice electric tandem, it only takes you about 20 minutes. So by the time you get there, you've just had enough exercise to have a few pints to come back again. Right then, have we done? Have we all? Must be all richly. There's Ian Miller, who goes out every night. Dear God. Right, Ian. Have you, Ian? Have you got all your answers written down? Here we go. Then I think we've had long enough on that round, haven't we? Yes, surely. Okay, right. Here we go. Then let's do some marking. What type of classical male singing voice has a vocal range that falls between bass and tenor? That, of course, is a baritone. A baritone. That gives you the B. Number 2. Reggie Perrin worked for a company called Sunshine Desserts. Sunshine Desserts. Number 3 is Acid Rain, of course. I'm sure we've all heard of that. Number 4, that was a bit tricky. Which English comedian, actor, and writer appeared in the first series? That was Harry Enfield. Harry Enfield. I wonder if you worked that out. Of course, the AK-47 assault rifle. The surname of the Russian who developed it was Kalashnikov, the Kalashnikov. Number 6, I was after one motorcycle on a Speedway, normally just has the single gear. It's a single gear motorbike. Number 7, robin's eggs are blue, generally. Number 8, the only one-word anagram of the word kart, of course, is orchestra. Well done if you worked that out. Number 9, in the game of tennis, which country reached the Davis Cup every year from 46 to 68? That was Australia. And finally, of course, if you rearranged the letters of the previous 9 answers, you should have ended up with that hit single called Babushka, Babushka, which, of course, is also a woman's headscarf in Russian. Babushka. Well done if you got that. Right, then let's have some scores in, see how you fared. See whether we've got anybody else with full scores. We have 13. So, Home Alone on 22. Michelle's on 22. Well done. Steve Farnham's on a fantastic 20 points. We've got Faye and the gang on 17 points. Martin Davis is also on 20 points. Ian Miller's on 16. Gaz and Bean's on 20. Ian Miller's doing well, considering he's had cramp and had to chase around the room. We've got Roger Griffiths on 18. PRS, they're still there on 22 points. Andrew Lewis doing very well on 20 points, as are Jed and Tracy on 19 points. The Giffords are on 23 points. Twinnies are on 19. The famous 5 at the moment on 20. Vanessa's doing very well on 15, as is Alex Brown on 16. We've got Russ, James, Joe and the gang, and Sarah on 20 points. Well played, you. Quizzy Rascals are also on a fantastic 23 points. Well played them. Mick Roberts on 21 points. We got Split the Difference on 23 points. Bigger Mixer on 20. Leslie Barrett's on 21. Well done, Les. It's Sif even. Mike Yates is on 16 points. Well played him. Have we got any other big scores to come in? I think there's some good scores there. So we've got 1, 2, 3 teams at the moment on 23 points, with 3 teams on 22 points and a number on 21 and 20. So anybody in the 20s at the moment is doing exceedingly well. Round number 3 is always pretty straightforward. It's a trivia trail. We take the last letter of your first answer, and it's the first letter of the next answer until we get to number 10. The last letter of number 10 is the first letter of number 1. Sorry, Robin, if I repeat myself, I've been doing it for the last 5 years, and I know you get pissed off with it, but never mind. I have to explain it to everybody. So here we go. Question number 1. On which children's playground game is the triple jump thought to have been based upon? So question number 1, on which children's playground game is the triple jump thought to have been based on? This is clearly the modern Olympics. I don't think they were doing this back in Roman times. What's this one? Rattleberg. It's interesting. Right then, I know somebody that will know this one back to front, and it's too easy, I know. Question number 2, take the last letter of your first answer, and it's the first letter of your next answer. Which of the Simpsons has been an astronaut, a church deacon, a roadie, a conceptual artist, a bartender, an illegal chiropractor, a food critic, and mayor, amongst other things? Just a one-word answer I'm after, thank you. Just a one-word answer, I'm sure you'll know. It's all right, I'm pouring my beer. It's a bit fizzy. Yeah. So fizzy. So which of the Simpsons has been an astronaut, a church deacon, a roadie, a conceptual artist, a bartender, an illegal chiropractor, a food critic, and mayor, amongst other things? Right, take the last letter of that name, and it's the first letter of this one. Don't think too hard about this. It sounds a bit tricky, but it's not. Which famous artist painted the abduction of Europa and the storm on the Sea of Galilee, which was stolen in 1990 and remains missing? It's a little fact I picked up the other day. So which famous artist painted the abduction of Europa and the storm on the Sea of Galilee, which was stolen in 1990 and remains missing? Just a one-word answer I'm after for that. Makes it a bit easier for you. That leads on nicely. Take his last letter of that artist's name, and it's the first letter of this. Question number 4, which is the largest moon of the planet Neptune, discovered on October the 10th, 1846, by English astronomer William Lassell. So question 4 again, which is the largest moon of the planet Neptune, discovered on October the 10th, 1846, by English astronomer William Lassell? Again, that's a one-word answer. And that leads you nicely on to question number 5, which I'm sure you'll all get dead easy, this one. What has become the longest running soap opera series in Australian television? And in 2005, it was inducted collectively into the Logie Hall of Fame, whatever that is. So question number 5 again, what has become the longest running soap opera series in Australian television? And in 2005, it was inducted collectively to the Logie Hall of Fame. That's a one-word answer I'm after. And I'm sure you'll all get that one. That takes you on nicely to question number 6. And of course, if you take the last letter of that one, it helps you an awful lot with question number 6. In which British city were the rock group Def Leppard formed back in 1977? So in which city were the rock group Def Leppard formed way back in 1977? It's a long time ago now. I was a mere youngster then. You wouldn't know it, would you? Suave, sophisticated and charming. And in the Merchant Navy. Right, take the last letter of that city, and it is the first letter of your answer to number 7. In Only Fools and Horses, By what name did Trigger always call Rodney? Bit stupid, but never mind. So in Only Fools and Horses, by what name did Trigger always call Rodney? Again, just a one-word answer I'm after. It's a bit too easy this round, I know, but never mind. Gives everybody a good chance. We don't want all the professional quizzes winning, do we, Carol? You're becoming a professional quizzer anyway. You've done about 40 in a row. Question number 8. This is an interesting one. What is the traditional gemstone given on a 55th wedding anniversary? I'm sure John from the Famous Five will know this one. So what is the traditional gemstone given on a 55th wedding anniversary? Thankfully, I haven't got there yet. Well, I don't want to be that old, do I? Well, geez, I don't want to be that old yet. I'd rather be on my silver wedding anniversary, to be fair. Take the last letter of that gemstone, and it is the first letter of this city I'm after. In which Scottish city are the comics The Beano and the Dandy published? Although mostly online now, I think. So in which Scottish city are the comics The Beano and the Dandy published? And finally, question number 10, take the last letter of your previous answer. Now, do remember the last letter of number 10 takes you all the way back to question number 1. So what is a short text honouring a deceased person that is inscribed on their tombstone? So what name is given to a short text honouring a deceased person that is inscribed on their tombstone? I should say mostly honouring a deceased person. Always the case, but never mind. Just a one-word answer, and the last letter of that answer takes you all the way back to number 1. All the way back to number 1 for that children's playground game, of course, that was thought to inspire the triple jump. This is a bit of a stupid sport, the triple jump, but never mind. I can think of worse things. Bog snorkeling. Right, we don't need too long, I don't think, for that. So if we're all ready, do we need any longer? Just put in the chat column if anybody needs any longer. We're about done, Ant? Right, okay. Here we go then. And which children's playground is the triple jump thought to have been based upon? That was hopscotch, of course, a game of hopscotch. That gave you the H for, of course, the Simpson called Homer. Homer Simpson was, amongst other things, a conceptual artist and an illegal chiropractor. That gave you the R for the artist Rembrandt, who painted the abduction of Europa. That gave you the T for the planet Triton, or the moon Triton, or the satellite Triton, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's not really a moon, yes. Satellite of Neptune, I suppose. That gave you the N in turn for the Australian soap called Neighbours. That in turn gave you the S for Sheffield, where Def Leppard were formed back in 1977. That gave you the D in Only Fools and Horses. Trigger was called Rodney Dave. That in turn gave you the E for the traditional gemstone, which is an emerald given on a 55th wedding anniversary. That gave you the D for the Scottish city of Dundee, where there are 2 statues, I think, of for a minute. I can't remember. Minnie the Minx and the guy that ate cow pie. What was his name? Desperate Dan. I think there's a couple of statues in Dundee's town centre, and that gave you the year, of course, for an epitaph. So well done if you got epitaph. Right then, let's have some scores in. I think that was a pretty straightforward round. Vanessa, you got more than 9. Add your total score and put it in. But that was a great round. General, right, we've got the famous 5 on 29. We've got Gaz and Bean on 29. Mike Yates on 25. Sarah and the gang from Worcester on 30 points. Well played them. Home Alone on 32 points. Michelle's also on 32 points. Emil's on 26. Martin Davis on 29. Roger Giris is on 28 points. We've got Graham Gifford on 32 points. We've got Andrew Lewis on 29 points. We've got Matthew Blood and PRS on 32 points. Jed and Tracy are on 29 points. Well played them. Alex Brown also on 25 points. Well played them. Mick Roberts doing very well on 30 points. Frank Masoli on 27. We've got Split the Difference, 33 points. Pickham Ricks at the moment are on 30 points. Steve Farnham's on 30 points. We've got any others in at the moment. So we've got 1, 2, 3. 3 teams at the moment, 32 points. 4 teams. Very well done at the moment on 32 points. Have we got the Quizzy Rascals score in, or am I missing that at the moment? Harry, Julian, and Ian are on 31 points. Very well done. The 20s are on 28 points. Steve Farnham's on 30, and Pickup Mix are on 30. Well played them. I didn't know me moons. I don't know me moons. Yeah, not an easy one there, but I suppose one-word answers starting with one. But and the Quizzy Rascals, 33 points. Well done, the Quizzy Rascals. Well, to be fair, anybody 29 upwards, well, within shouting distance at the moment. So, it's all getting very close, isn't it? Now then, round number 4 is entitled Rhyming Pairs. Rhyming Pairs. Titan and Triton. Ah, yes. Yes, quite. Probably deserves a half, to be fair, that. Probably deserves a half. Right, rhyming pairs. 5 answers rhyme with the other 5 answers, all right? So you need to, but you only need to take the last syllable. What about Brian? Question, what's he put? Brian, 72. Harry, Julian, Ian, 71.8. 0.2? No. No, what rhyming pair? You like my rhyming round, Carol. You love it. Here we go. And I've even written question number 1. This is just for Carol Jackson. She knows this one straight away. But she's put no down here. This is for Carol. To make, here we go. What? Yes, I did miss you, Jackie. Glad to hear you're back. Oh, right. Sorry, there's a bit of chit and chat going on the chat column. I'm just making sure we're up to date with this. No half, wrong answers. No, it was wrong. No, that's fair. Okay, it was wrong. Here we go then. Question number 1, just for Carol. And the what? Sorry, Carol. To make a baked Alaska, what would you put in a dish lined with slices of sponge cake or Christmas pudding before topping with meringue? So to make a baked Alaska, what would you put in a dish lined with slices of sponge cake or Christmas pudding before topping with meringue? Now you'll notice that is a 2-word answer, but all I'm after is the last syllable to rhyme with another one. Well, it might be more than the last syllable. We'll see. Question number 2, listen carefully. What word goes after open side and blind side to give the names of 2 playing positions in the game of rugby union? Mick Roberts will know this one straight away. So what word goes after open side and blind side to give the names of 2 playing positions in the game of rugby union? Meringue is disgusting. I would not use it on anything I was going to eat. It's not disgusting. Melts in your mouth, doesn't it? Question number 3. I'm sure we'll all know this one. What one-word title is commonly used to refer to the presiding officer of the House of Commons? Been a few controversial ones in the past. So what one-word title is commonly used to refer to the presiding officer of the House of Commons? Okay. Pretty straightforward, that one. Oh, question 4, don't get much easier than this. Who was the presenter of the world's longest running television series, the BBC's Sky at Night, from 1975 to 2013? So question 4 again, who was the presenter of the world's longest running television series, the BBC's The Sky at Night, from 1957, the year I was born, to 2013? There's even a crater on the moon named after him. So it's got to be famous. Right then, question number 5. This may rhyme, remember, with one of your previous answers. It might not do, but I think it might do. So on the TV show Deal or No Deal, what is the name of the unseen character who makes cash offers to buy the contestants' boxes? Yes, I know what he might appear, but that's not his proper name. So on the TV show Deal or No Deal, what is the name of the unseen character who makes cash offers to buy the contestants' boxes? I mean, to be fair, you wouldn't want a stranger trying to buy your box, would you? I suppose. I don't know. Right, question number 6. This is bang up to date, this. Yesterday's news, I hope you're all watching. Because of their long noses, which resemble the trunk of an elephant, what type of small, insectivorous mammals native to Africa have recently been found alive and well in Djibouti after they were thought to have been extinct for over 50 years? It's just a one-word answer I'm after. So because of their long noses, which resemble the trunk of an elephant, what type of small, insectivorous mammals native to Africa have recently been found alive and well in Djibouti, of all places, after they were thought to have been extinct for over 50 years? I think it was on the BBC News only yesterday. Just a one-word answer I'm after. Question number 7. This one definitely rhymes with one we've had before, so listen carefully. Question number 7. What word is used to describe a type of consciousness where the mind becomes detached from current tasks and often makes one oblivious of things around you? I think Wassel was telling me I'm doing that, but never mind. So what word is used to describe a type of consciousness where the mind becomes detached from current tasks and often makes one oblivious of things around you? That's just a one-word answer. I thought it might be hyphenated, but it's not. It's a one-word answer. Question number 8. Think carefully about this. The names kind of give it away a little bit, if you know what I'm on about. Which company was founded by Jerry Yang and David Philo in January 1994? In March of that year, it changed its name and was finally incorporated on March the 2nd, 1995. Just again, a one-word answer I'm after. So, which company was founded by Jerry Yang and David Philo in January 1994? In March of that year, it changed its name and was finally incorporated on March the 2nd, 1995. And that definitely rhymes with something we've already had. Just again, a one-word answer. Question number 9 is a two-word answer. In the 2009 film Sherlock Holmes, starring Robert Downey Jr., who played Dr. Watson? Very famous actor. So in the 2009 film Sherlock Holmes, starring Robert Downey Jr., who played Dr. Watson? It's a two-word answer I'm after. How you doing, Andy? A bit tricky. And finally, question number 10. You can mark this one off the list, I'm sure. In a game of Quidditch in the Harry Potter novels, what name is given to the player whose task is to capture the golden snitch? So in the game of Quidditch in the Harry Potter novels, what name is given to the player whose task is to capture the golden snitch? So one-word answer as well. So you now have 10 answers, I hope, 5 of which should in some way rhyme with the other 5. I know my rhyming rounds, they've got a little bit better. I used to make them trickier in the pub. In fact, impossible sometimes. Martin Davis will tell you that, but never mind. I'm not sure what I'm on at the moment, but it's called Radlberg Pilsner. Radlberg Pilsner. God knows what it is. Written in Chinese on there. Can anybody decipher Chinese? I don't know. I might be able to. I like this. Brewed with the choicest hops, choicest malt. Yes, quite. Right then, everybody. Are we ready to do some marking on that round? I will give you another minute if you're really struggling. Does anybody need any more time? Just let me know quickly in the chat column. 5 of your answers should rhyme in some way or another with the other 5 answers. Would anybody like a little bit more time? Just let me know. If not, you better run off and go and get yourself a beer or some snacks. An hour. Time, please, gentlemen. No. More time, please. A bit frothy. Now on to a beer apparently that was canned and brewed in London. Probably means from Thames Water somewhere, but never mind. It's got a picture of the London Eye on it. For Pure Brewery. Can't be that pure if it's from London. Never mind. Well, I hope all of you that have been away for at least a small break, a short break, or whatever else, whether it's just to go and see some parents, in-laws, or just a quick 2 or 3 days away. I hope you all enjoyed it all. It is a little bit tricky, isn't it, going to places these days? They ask you to sign in, leave your number, and all this baloney, but never mind. I've always found it's best. No, I won't tell you what I've been doing, but never mind. Right, rhyming pairs. I think we've probably had another minute now, so let's do some marking, see how we've all fared. If you haven't got them by now, I could give you another half an hour, but then that will be unfair on the other team. So here we go. To make a baked Alaska, before topping it with meringue, you would put some ice cream in there, ice cream. Number 2, of course, the word that goes after open side and blind side is a flanker. Number 3, the one-word title commonly used for the presiding officer in the House of Commons is the Speaker. Number 4 was Patrick Moore, of course, who presented the world's longest running television series. Number 5, he was better known as the Banker, of course, which obviously rhymes with flanker a little bit earlier. Number 6, because of their long noses, which resemble the trunk of an elephant, it was the shrew I was after. It's called the elephant shrew, but a shrew will do. Ha ha! Ha ha! That nearly rhymed. Sorry. Number 7, the word to describe a type of consciousness was a daydream, which was supposed to rhyme loosely with ice cream, but never mind. Number 8, that company I was after, formed by David and Jerry, of course, with David and Jerry's Guide to the World Wide Web, was Yahoo. Well done if you worked that one out. Yahoo. Which, of course, rhymes with the shrew, loosely. Number 9, Sherlock Holmes, starred Robert Downey Jr., who played Dr. Watson. That was Jude Law. Jude Law. Well done if you got that. Of course, that rhymed with Patrick Moore. And finally, number 10 in the game of Quidditch. Which player's task is to capture the golden snitch? That was the Seeker. The Seeker. So well done if you got Seeker. That, of course, rhymed with the Speaker. So well done if you got that. I know they're a bit tricky, those rhyming rounds, but never mind. They're a bit of fun, a bit different. So there are your answers. Lydia's put them up. Let's see how we've all fared after that, even if it's going to take Ian Miller another hour to work out. But we'll see. Well done, Ian. So Andrew's come up, fantastic score of 39. And he is exactly the same score as Tina and Neil on 39 points. Then we've got the famous 5. Sorry, not Tina and Neil. It's Tina and Andrew, of course. Sorry. What else were we on? Famous 5 on 37 points. We've got Home Alone 6 on a very respectable 42 points. So I'll keep getting it wrong. Sarah's on 39 points. Michelle's on 40 points. We've got Jed and Tracy on 39. Steve Farden's on 38. Well done, Steve. Roger Griffiths on 34. We've got the Giffords on 40 points. Well done, Graham. Ian Miller's on 32. Mick Robertson on 38 points. Well played, Mick. Gazambina on 36. PRS are on 42, still there or thereabout. Mike Yates on 29. The Booby Prize girls are on 34 points. The Twinies are on 35. Vanessa's on 30 points. The Split the Difference are on 42. Quizzy Rascals are on 42. Pick a Mix are on 40. Leslie Barrett's on 36. Alex Brown's on 35 points. So at the moment, we have, wait a minute, we've got Quizzy Rascals, 42. Split the Difference, 42. PRS, 42. We have Home Alone 6, 42 points. There's some great scores out there tonight. Great scores out there. Well done all. Harry, Julian, and Neil have just come in with theirs on 40 points, although Brian's 72, Harry, Julian in 71.5. 71.8. Is that your total age? No, that can't be right. Harry's a lot older than that. Ian, you must be at least. No, look, whatever that means, but never mind. Yeah. Can never be that old. Right then, round number 5 is entitled Birds. Do we all know about birds? Very easy round this. Easier than I thought. Who likes birds? Harry is 66-ish. Yeah, so it can't be anything to do with age. I know Brian's 72. So how's he come up with 71.8? Anyway, what? Yeah, but it can't be because he's 66 anyway. But never mind. Anyway, let's get on to the birds round. Here we go. Two-legged. I think all of them are two-legged. They might not be though. We'll see. Question number 1. Which female singer had a hit with "Every Day is a Winding Road"? Every day is a winding road. No? No. Robin always likes me singing. So which female singer had a hit with "Every Day is a Winding Road"? Every day is a winding road. Ha, ha. Oh, Ian said it. No, right, okay. Do remember there's something to do with birds in there. Something to do with birds, of course. So it could be busted, for instance, as in the great busted. Or the lesser spotted busted. Could be the Eagles as well. What do you mean stop singing? Roy, surely, I'm just helping you. Just need a guitar. I need more than that. I can play it on my violin, I think. Right then, question number 2. What was the original name of the Golden Hind, the flagship of Francis Drake? Nice, easy one, that. So what was the original name of the Golden Hind, the flagship of Francis Drake? Well done, Faye, you see. Singing away makes all the difference, doesn't it? What? Well, we could do a Zoom musical concert or something if you wanted. You could all come up on the screen. We could sing together and get it on the BBC or something. Question number 3. It's a bit trickier, but never mind. Parvo is a constellation in the southern sky whose name is Latin for what rather showy bird? There's a big clue in that. So Parvo is a constellation in the southern sky whose name is Latin for what rather showy bird? It's not going to be Parvo the ptarmigan, is it? Is it? It could be. Spelled with a P. Parvo the ptarmigan. No. I'm being silly now. Question number 4. In which 1968 war film did Clint Eastwood play Lieutenant Morris Schaefer? Very famous film. Something to do with birds in the answer. So which 1968 war film did Clint Eastwood play Lieutenant Morris Schaefer? So who you got in your team tonight, man? Jono? Question number 5. Listen carefully. What was the final song sung in the musical Mary Poppins when George Banks finally realizes that his family is more important than his job? So question 5 again. What was the final song sung in the musical Mary Poppins when George Banks finally realizes that his family is more important than his job? Question number 6 is dead easy. I'm sure you'll get this. Founded in 1940, what is the name of the children's section of Penguin Books? So founded back in 1940, what is the name of the children's section of Penguin Books? Oh, bother. I've lost my screen. Well, it appears we've had no dropouts tonight, thankfully, so everybody should have a clear screen. Question number 7, this is a bit trickier. Who was the first actor to win a posthumous Best Actor Oscar for his role as a crazed television anchorman Howard Beale in the 1976 film Network? It's a 2-word answer I'm after. So who was the first actor to win a posthumous Best Actor Oscar for his role as a crazed television anchorman Howard Beale in the 1976 film Network? I don't think I've ever seen it. Apparently it's supposed to be a good film. Might have to watch it. Do you remember all these have got something to do with birds? either in the question or the answer, mostly in the answers, you'll be pleased to know. Actually, Sarah, I was going to ask you, how's egg production doing in Worcester in these hard times? Because you work for an egg producing company or something? Well, chickens. Was it chickens or was it eggs? Mind you, they give you the same thing, I suppose, same result, somewhere or another. Very high. Question number 8. Here we go then. Where was the first land battle fought between British and Argentinian forces in the Falklands War on May the 28th and 29th, 1982? Ettington. Where the hell is Ettington? Where the hell's Ettington, Ian? Is it far away? Ettington. I don't know that. Question number 8 again. Where was the first land battle fought between British and Argentine forces in the Falklands War on the 28th and 29th of May 1982? Two-word answer for that. What's that? Can do. Maybe. Question number 9. What is the nickname? Matthew will know this one, Matthew Blood, definitely, and Robin. What is the nickname of Brighton and Hove Albion FC, who compete in the Premier League, the top tier of the English Football League system? So what is the nickname of Brighton and Hove Albion FC, who compete in the Premier League, the top tier of the English Football League system? And finally, question number 10 in this dead easy birds round. Which character did Jodie Foster play in the 1991 American psychological horror film, The Silence of the Lambs? So which character did Jodie Foster play in the 1991 American psychological horror film, The Silence of the Lambs? Well, I would have said psychological drama, but apparently Wikipedia has said psychological horror. But there we go. Stratford on Avon, Banbury Road, just on the cross. No. Right, that was a dead easy bird round, wasn't it, really? You got them all that? Do we need any more time to try and work those out, or is that time enough, I think? Right, I'm on some, God knows what this is. It's Geezer Session IPA, whatever, a Geezer Session IPA. It's 4 Pure Brewing Company in London. Apparently it's inspired by adventure. Isn't everything? My beer seems to be evaporating tonight, but never mind. Okay then, have we had long enough? Any other teams need a bit longer or not? Just let me know if you need any longer. Right then, here we go. Here are the answers to the birds round. I think we're ready to go. The female singer I was after, Every Day is a Winding Road, was Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow. Number 2, of course, the original name of the Golden Hind was the Pelican. The Pelican. Well done if you got that. Number 3, Parvo, the constellation. That showy bird I was after, not the pelican, but the peacock. The peacock. Parvo the peacock. Number 4 was Where Eagles Dare, of course, that 1968 war film. Number 5 I was after Let's Go Fly a Kite. Oh, that was a bit tricky, wasn't it? A kite. Never mind. Number 6, of course, Penguin's children's section is called Puffin. Number 7, the actor I was after that received the posthumous Best Actor Oscar was Peter Finch. Well done if you got that. That was the tough one in the round, I think. Number 8 was Goose Green, of course, where the battle was fought between British and Argentine forces. Number 9, Brighton and Hove Albion FC are better known as the Seagulls, their nickname. And final number 10, of course, was Clarissa Starling. Clarissa Starling, who played that. Was she FBI? Yeah, FBI interrogator, I think, in Silence of the Lambs, or a newbie, as she was called. Right, before we go into the last round, general trivia, which are 10 general knowledge questions, which nobody's going to know all the answers to, let's get some scores in. So we have Steve Farnham on a fantastic 46 points. Well played, Steve. PRS still there or there, about 52 points. Well played, PRS. We've got Paula Lewis on 51. We've got Ian Miller on 41. We've got Michelle Gibbons on 51 points. Well played, Michelle. Sarah in the game from Worcester on 48 points. We've got Graham Gifford on 48 points. Mike Yates on 34. Jen and Tracy are on 47. We've got Home Alone on 50 points. Well played, Home Alone. Mick Roberts is on 47. Andrew Lewis and Jane are on 45 points. Gaz and Bean are on 44. Got the Famous 5 on 46 points. Roger Griffiths is on 38 points. Marty Davis doing very well on 47 points. Split the difference on 52 points. So Vanessa's on 38 points. We've got the Tweenies, 41 points. So it's all very close. Now then, how many teams we've got up in the 50s or there or thereabouts? Split the difference, 52. Alex Brown just coming in with a 42. Pick a Mix, 49. That's a good score. Finally said the Boobies are on 40 points. Well played, the Boobies. Right. We have Pick a Mix, 49. We've got Split the Difference, 52. We've got Home Alone 6 on 50. We've got Michelle on 51. We've got Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals on 51. And we've got PRS on 52 points. So it's very, very close at the top there. The last round should sort a few out because there are 1 or 2 sods of questions in there. So you might have a chance of just overtaking everybody else with the right guess, at the right time, but we'll see. So Ian saying yes. Brian, Harry, Julian in on 49 points. Well played them. So anybody 49 upwards, I think, has got a very good chance of possibly going away with the win tonight, but we will see. So here we go then. General trivia. 10 general knowledge questions to put you out of misery. What girl's name, this is number 1, what girl's name features in the titles of hit singles by both John Denver and Kid Creole and the Coconuts? If you don't know it, you can have a guess at it, surely. So what girl's name features in the titles of hit singles by both John Denver and Kid Creole and the Coconuts? Okay. Actually, let's have one fair on it and look. You want to leap up? I had 4. I'll run off. No, 3. 3 in a lot. Right, question number 2. This is a bit of a daft question. I know we need to. I was trying to get one in every week, but I gave up a few weeks ago because I couldn't come up with any more. But never mind. Daft question of the night. Question number 2. How many man-made probes in total have made a close approach to Uranus? I'll give you the choice. Is it 1, 2, or 3? And no rudeness there, Roy Job. So question number 2, how many man-made probes in total have made a close approach to Uranus. I'll give you the choice. Is it 1, 2, or 3? And we're not talking about mine either, thank you, because that's had many... No, sorry, going too far. There's been a few good pictures of it, that's for sure. Sarah's going, hey. I've got another one for next week as well, Carol. You're all right. We haven't run out of questions about Uranus, you know. It's because they changed the name, that's why. The Americans attempted to change the name, good old British name, you know. Question number 3, listen carefully. Doesn't like a good bro. Thought that would bring up a few ones. Well, never mind. Right. Question number 3, listen carefully. In the game of Scrabble, which 4 consecutive letters, consecutive, you know what that means, in the alphabet all have a points value of 1? Ooh, matron. So in the game of Scrabble, which 4 consecutive letters in the alphabet all have a points value of 1? If it's any help, all the vowels have 1 point value. That's probably no help whatsoever. Carol, you're obsessed with Uranus. Well, I remember a few years ago, I treated everybody outside the pub at the Victoria Inn to look at Mercury, because most people had never seen Mercury. So I said, there it is up in the sky. Most of them believed me. Some of them didn't, but there we have it. Right, question number 4. Listen carefully. Who was King of the United Kingdom from 1936 until his death in 1952? That's a pretty straightforward question. So who was King of the United Kingdom from 1936 until his death in 1952? I did, Roy. I was pointing out Uranus, not. I was pointing out Mercury. You're right. Nice one, Faye. Yes, thank you for that. But it's funny, you know, we all stood outside the pub and I pointed up and people were aghast because they'd never seen it before. There you go. Because you only generally see it a couple of occasions a year when it's at whatever it is, greatest western elongation or greatest I don't know, something like that. Question number 5, listen carefully. Probably derived. Ooh. I have. Wait a minute. I'm going to start this again. Yeah, in the. I think we need in the. And a comma after jump up. Right, sorry. Question number 5. Probably derived in the early 19th century from the 2 words jump up. A jumbuck is an informal Australian term for what type of animal? So question 5 again. Probably derived in the early 19th century from the 2 words jump up. A jumbuck is an informal Australian term for what type of animal? Question number 6. This is going to suit Roy Joby. He'll get this one. All over this. In football, which two British teams play against each other in the second city derby? Big clue in that. So, in football, which two British teams play against each other in the second city derby? Come on, Ange, have a go at it. You know that. Question number 7, going back to an earlier question, but I'm sure you get this one. Which British overseas territory celebrates Thatcher Day on January the 10th of every year? So question 7, which British overseas territory celebrates Thatcher Day on January the 10th of every year? Right then, 3 questions to go. Sort out first, second and third. So listen carefully. Question number 8. What traditional name for a pet dog comes from a Latin word meaning I trust? So what traditional name for a pet dog comes from a Latin word meaning I trust? Right, it's nearly 9:45. So after the last 2 answers, we can get up and watch something, can't we? What day of the week are we? Wednesday. Don't know what's on telly tonight. If there's anything interesting, we'll see. Right, question number 9. Here we go. Referring to the opposition of residents to a new proposal for a new development that is close to them, what does the 5-letter acronym NIMBY stand for? There's a good one, isn't it? So referring to the opposition of residents to a proposal for a new development that is close to them, what does the 5-letter acronym NIMBY stand for? That's NIMBY, and it's a 5-letter answer, of course. What on earth are they complaining about? That depends what context, Robin. Give me a context. I might be able to try and work it out, but I can't say I have, unless it's African presidents beginning with no. Banana. And finally, here we go then. This will finish the evening off. Question number 10. Which of the following is normally the only thing worn by Bugs Bunny? I'll give you the choice. Is it shorts, gloves, or a bow tie? So which of the following is normally the only thing worn by Bugs Bunny? I'll give you the choice. Is it shorts, gloves, or a bow tie? It's worse than NIMBY. Worse than NIMBY. Black and banana. No, I can't work that one out at the moment. Robbie, I'll have a go later. Leave it with me. I might need more of a clue, but never mind. Right then, does anybody need more time, or have we got an answer for each of those questions? Has everybody got 10 answers down? Okay then. Come on. We've all had enough time, I think, to get at least 10 answers down, even whether they're right, wrong, or whatever, indifferent. So here we go. Here are the answers to the previous 10 questions. We started off, and this might make all the difference to everybody. Girl's name features in the titles of both the John Denver and Kid Creole, and the Coconut Song was Annie, Annie's Song, and Annie, I'm Not Your Daddy. Number 2, how many man-made probes in total have made a close approach to Uranus? I gave you the choice, was it 1, 2, or 3? It is, in fact, just 1. The only probe that's been close to Uranus was Voyager 2 in 1986. Number 3, in Scrabble, what 4 consecutive letters in the alphabet of all points valued at 1? That's R, S, T, and U. R, S, T, and U. Well done if you worked that out. The King of the United Kingdom from 36 to 52 was George VI. Number 5, probably derived from the words jump up. A jumbuck is an informal Australian term for what type of animal? That's a sheep, apparently, a sheep. I would have thought a kangaroo personally, but there you go. Number 6, in football, which 2 British teams play against each other in the second city derby? The second city in the United Kingdom, of course, is Birmingham, and it's Aston Villa versus Birmingham City. Thatcher Day, of course, occurs every 10th of January on the Falkland Islands, referred to a previous question there. Number 8, that was tricky. The traditional name for a pet dog, coming from the Latin word meaning I trust, is Fido. Fido. Well done if you worked that out, because that was tricky. Did you? Number 9, referring to the opposition of residents for a new proposal, the acronym NIMBY stands for Not in My Backyard. Not in my backyard. Well done if you got that. And which of the following is normally the only thing worn by Bugs Bunny? It's gloves, of course. He only wears a pair of gloves. Doesn't wear any shorts or a bow tie, so gloves. So well done if you got that. Right then, let's have some scores in, see how you've all fared. In that last round, there were a couple of tricky ones in there, but I'm sure we've probably all done fairly well. Right, the famous 5 coming in with a fantastic 55 points. Well played, the famous 5. It wasn't the easiest tonight. Roger Griffiths came in with 45. Well played, Roger. Steve came in with 55. Well played, Steve and the gang. And Michelle came in with 61 points. Well played, Michelle, from up north at the moment. Home Alone 6 came in with 59 in the end. Well played then. Final score of 53 for Jed and Tracy. That's great. PRS 61 points. They've tied with Michelle at the top there. Graham Gifford 55 points. Well played, Graham and Jane from Cambridge. Lovely to see you. Gaz and Bean in at 52 even. Well played them. Ian Miller on 46 points. Alex Brown on 50 points. We've got Andrew Lewis, 55 points. Well played, Andrew and Jane again. Sarah and the gang from Worcester on 54 points. Well played, you. That's a great score as well. Anybody in the 50s has done really well. Faye and the gang, the Booby Prize girls, ended up with 47 points. Vanessa ended up with 53 points. Well played, Vanessa. Nick Roberts, that's a great score, 57 points. Paula Lewis ended up with 61 points. Well played, Paula and the gang. Quizzy Rascals, that's a great score. Leslie Barrett, very good score, 49. Well played, Sif. I thought that was a great score. 20s on 48. We have Pick a Mix on 56. Split the Difference on 62 points. Well played, Split the Difference. Michelle retracted 59, miscounted. Oh, retracted. That means you ended up on 59. Well played, Michelle, anyway. We have a number of teams at the top there. Martin Davis. Well played, Martin. It seems as you were pipped by Andrew Lewis tonight on 55 points. They're great rivals, of course, Martin Davis and Lewis is. So, Frank McSorley, thanks, Nick and Lydia, for another great quiz. Many thanks, Nick and Quiz. Oh, wait a minute. Ian came in with a 58.5 points. So, on 62 points, we have Split the Difference. On 61 points, we have Paula Lewis and the Quizzy Rascals. Well played them. On 61 points, we also have PRS. Well played PRS. 61 points. That's another great score. And Michelle, well played Michelle. And the gang on 61 points all the way up north. Well played them. And then we have some other notable scores. 55, the famous 5. Steve Farnan on 55. Jed and Tracy on 53. Graham Gifford 55. There's some good scores there. Andrew Lewis on 55. We've got Mick Roberts 57. That's a great score, Mick. Well played you. And Pick and Mix on 56. That's another great score. And Michelle on 59. Another great score. Ian Sharrett and the gang, of course. Brian, Harry, Julian in on 58.5 points. So well played them. Right then, everybody. It might be Sunday night then. Let's see how we all fare on Sunday night. It's been a very close competition tonight. Well done, Team Purity. We will see how we fare Sunday night. And well played, everybody. And thank you for taking part tonight. And hopefully we'll see you Sunday night. As I say, I've got a round missing from Sunday night because the birds came forward from Sunday night to tonight's quiz. As I've got a gap in the whatever, but never mind. We'll fill it in for Sunday and make sure we're raring to go Sunday night for another quiz and see how we go. But thank you ever so much. There's plenty of testing questions there. A few you've got to learn, especially as professional quizzes. The only way you learn is by, of course, just learning some of the things you got wrong the last time. That's as simple as that. See you all Sunday anyway. Thank you very much, everybody, and good night, and have a great remaining week. I hope you have a good weekend, and we will see you Sunday. So good night all. So from me, Lydia, we will sign off now. So good night all. Thank you very much for taking part. See you again. Cheers. Good night.